Right, I've got some gifts to open in this hand, which I'm going to go through in a second. I've also got a couple of packages, a couple of games to unbox right live in front of the camera for you guys. And I'm going to go through, it's a new month, we're in October. There's some Switch games which I want, which I've been putting off for a while. I've made a list of basically 8 or 9 games which I hope to pick up soon. So I'm going to try to, in this video, we're going to look at the CX prices of each of those games. I'm going to show you footage of all these games, tell you why I want to own them. And I'm going to try by the end of the month to try, I'm not going to be able to get all of them. I'm not made of money, but I'm going to try and see if I get deals, then I will do. I'm going to try and see if I can pick up some of these games before the month's up, and then we can look at how we get on. Because I don't know about you guys, but I keep sort of a list of games that I want. And at some point, you've got to bite the bullet, the price doesn't come down, or you might come across it. But anyway, let's just get straight on with the video, shall we? A few gifts from a friend, which is absolutely awesome. Some things he found up in his family home in the loft. A few little books. You might remember some of these. Sega Pro Master Volume 1. This is absolutely awesome. I know Tessa and Ali would be absolutely loving this. Big Sonic the Hedgehog fans. But it's got the complete player's guide to Prince of Persia, Super Kickoff and Sonic the Hedgehog. So you can tell it's really early on in the Sega Mega Drive's history with those 3 selections of those games. It's literally just those 3 games. Flicking through the pages now. It's a complete strategy guide, basically, official for those 3 games. Which is pretty awesome. Yeah, that is really, really cool. In fantastic condition. So big shout out to the Castle Con Don for donating that. A couple of other things he gave as well. Over 1001 readers tips. Remember these? This is from Games Master, this particular one. We used to love these tip books going through them back in the day. Yeah, absolutely awesome seeing that. And this looks so familiar. Whether it's a font style and a colour from a particular magazine, but I just recognise the yellow and black. This is basically PlayStation cheats. Used to look at these guides. You feel like you used to get one every other month or one magazine each month. You know, there'd be a good half a dozen back in the day in your magazine store in WH Smith or in Tesco. And these would, there was always at least one magazine. You know, you had sort of 2 magazines for each console. You always had an official and unofficial. And when things were booming, there was a good like 6 different magazines on the shelf. But yeah, really, really remember that. It's a big shout out again to Mr. Castle Kong Don for that. The other present he got me, absolutely awesome. What a guy. You've seen these little instruction manuals. You've heard me mention before. I'll put the gentleman's name and details all in the description of this video. Don't want to say anything wrong in case I forget or mess up how you can find him. But I know he's on Etsy, so I'm going to find his information before I post this video. I'm going to put it into the description of the video in case you want to check him out. But you've seen these. He basically makes manuals like the old days for the Nintendo Switch for your favourite games. And he's trying to venture out, I hear. I hope that isn't an exclusive that I've accidentally dropped. I think he's venturing out in some of the other modern consoles, you know, the Xbox and the PlayStation, whether it's PS5 or PS4. But yeah, when manuals have disappeared, he sort of brought them back. And they're so well done. They're unofficial, but they're official. You couldn't get any more neater than that. Like, honestly, Nintendo would be proud. And they're really accurate. You know, it is the manual. It's absolutely glorious is the word. It's absolutely a thing of beauty. And the reason why he got me this was because it was my game of the year. I've shut the thumbnail up. I don't know if you guys remember, at the end of 2022, I was recapping you know, some of my favourite games, the most expensive games of the year, and also I did a video on yeah, my favourite games of 2023. Games I played the most of and enjoyed the most, and I had some guests on that video as well. So check that out. I'll put the link again into the description. But yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land was my game of the year for 2022. So to get this manual, I'm going to slip that straight into the box. I'm going to have a good old look at it first. So yeah, big shout out for that one. So yeah, I've got 8 games I'm going to tell you guys, which I want to try and get hold of for October. I'm definitely not going to get hold of all of them. I've ticked one of them off the list already because that's in one of the packages below me. Maybe 2 actually, depending on what's come. So I'll go through those with you guys and open them up. But to go through each game, so the idea of this, I want to try and get them cheaper than they sell at CEX. The optimum for me buying anything, whether it's retro or new, is picking it up cheaper on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay or from a store at CEX trading price. That way, if I play it for a bit or don't like it, I can just trade it in. I don't lose any money. That's the dream. Generally, it's a certain percentage. Say a game's 40 quid to buy from CEX, they'll give you, you know, say you trade it in, they give you 30 quid cash, but you'll get 30 quid credit, 25 cash. You know what I mean? That way round, so you get more credit than cash. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to, is getting, you know, I don't mind being £5 over the trade-in. I just want to value you get for trading vouchers. I just want to get it for cheaper than CX set it for, but it might not be possible with some of them. It really might not be, especially with official Nintendo titles. But the first game, so this one that comes out Friday the 13th of October, is a physical release for Red Dead Redemption. Absolutely buzzing for it. I've got them all for the 360, but I just, by the sounds of it, how it's been like with ray trace or whatever the technology they've used, it seems to fit really well on the Switch. I watched a video from the guys at Switch Up where they sort of overlaid it from the old console from the 360, and it's not like a direct port. It's now on the Switch. It is like an improvement. So yeah, really excited to actually play that on the Switch, because the truth is I missed out on that game. I've got them now, you know, when I started buying, you know, a year or two ago for the 360, like everyone did, when the games were cheap. I picked those games up. You know, I've got every variation of it. You know, I've got 3 copies of it sitting over there, which are the 3 variations for the 360. The Undead, the Game of the Year, and so on. But I haven't, you know, sat down and I didn't play them all at the time. I didn't complete them. So really excited to play that. So I'm going to have my little horse riding journey on the Switch. The second game, you've heard me mention before, I think it's IKAI. I don't know how to pronounce it. Wherever you are in the country, let me know by however you can try and write that by typing it in the comments. It's a like horror puzzle game. I've seen some mixed reviews where it's not that good, so it's like scary, but then you realise the monsters only get so close. So if you're stuck in a puzzle, they never really come to get you. But I'm just sort of fascinated with it. I went to look at it a long time ago. It might have been like might have been Christmas last year. I remember being with my wife in like a shopping centre. Went to pick it up, saw it in CX for the first time. I was like, wow, what's this? And then, as you do, checked on Amazon, and it was cheaper, brand new from Amazon, which sometimes it is. Don't get me started on my pronunciation of Amazon. Big up Retro Ed UK for cracking up to that. I'm not going to get started on saying that word. I'm going to try and, you know, that river thing. Anyway, that shop that used to sell the books has games cheaper than CEX. Anyway, I never got around to buying it. Thought it might drop more. Price stayed the same. So looking at getting that. That's 22 quid from CEX. The other game I want to get is Kirby Return to Dreamland. So I love all the Kirby games, like from the NES to the Crystal Shards on the N64. It's worth the price tag, believe me, but you can play it emulated on the Switch. Don't worry about paying for it. You know, the ones on the Super Nintendo, they're all so good. And then the new ones on the Switch. So yeah, Star Allies is good, a good game. But then, yeah, Kirby in the Forgotten Land, which this manual's for, is absolutely such a good game. And this Return to Dreamland looked even better. So I don't know how it could be. So I really want to get hold of that. Didn't, you know, I was hoping to find a copy, but no one's trading it in. Everyone wants to keep it. These proper AAA titles from Nintendo don't go down in value. So I need to try and bite the bullet. But we'll get onto that in a moment. The Witcher. I really want The Witcher because I think the price of it sort of got to a point where it's not going to sort of drop. I feel like it's going to be almost a collector's game for the Switch. Might sound weird, but it just, I heard it plays really well on the Switch. It might not be the best place to play it, like graphically for the full intense immersion of the type of game it is. It might be better on a more modern console. If it was like a Switch Pass or on the PlayStation Store, give it a go. Let me know if it is. I don't think it is. But I want to get it for the Switch. My friend Pat, he loved that game. He played the absolute shit out of it. And he kept going, you got to get it, you got to get it. And this was, must have been about 3 years ago. It was like, it was a while ago. And it's been in the back of my mind. I thought nothing of it. And then I've just seen them or mentioned a couple of people say, you know, they finished it or they've gone back to it or they picked up a cheap copy. And I was like, do you know what? I don't want to miss out on it. So I do want to get that. So that's on the list. Game number 5 is a super rare game, which is Shelter Generations. I've passed on a lot of super rare games lately, only because I was very interested in them to start off with, and then I've started to, you know, sell on to my copies. Go, I don't like that one, don't like that one, and you know, I'll buy 3 and like 1 out of the 3. So I thought, you know what, it's not sustainable for the wallet. So I've been keeping an eye on the odd one, and then I saw about 3 in a row I wasn't interested in, and now I don't even look at them. But there was one that passed me by, Shelter Generations, where you kind of looks like you play as, I don't know what animal it is now, some sort of cat. You're probably laughing thinking this, I'm trying to picture, is it a snow leopard? I don't know, yeah, it's a snow leopard, I think it is a snow leopard. And you're basically raising some cubs and you've got to look after them. Got my hair all going fluff. You've basically got to raise them, look after them. It's really like, it almost looks like blocky N64 graphics, but it fits really well. So it looks like a really good game. I've watched some footage of it. I really want to get hold of it, but that's a pricey game that's getting near like the £100 mark. So I'd have to find one at like 80 quid or something that I can sort of, you know, you can trade and get your money back. But yeah, that game has been on the radar, sitting under the triple figures with the Switch for, well, since I did the price video last year. It was up there. You know, I did the top, what did I do? I think I went for the top 10 most expensive games for the Switch. Or I think I went for every game for the Switch over £100, and this was right up there, just missed out. But it's creeping up and it's hanging around, and they're not always justifiable, like Snake Pass. Fucking shit game. No, it's a good game, but they're not always justifiable. But that game, Shelter Generations, that does look cool. I want to try it. Might not be that good, but I don't want to pay the... I haven't actually looked up how much it is. No, I did look up in the eShop. I think it was still like 30. I don't want to pay something digitally for like 30 quid to have something digital. It was like a tenner. I'll take a punt on it. Do you know what I mean? But I'd rather save up and try and acquire it by trading stuff in or something like that. The other game is Candleman. Now that looks like a really, really cool. I only found out about a week or two ago. It looks really submersive. You can see the footage up there now. Looks like a sort of platformer game. It's really eerie. It's really cool. It looks graphically beautiful. Reminds me of that, like, you know how stunning Ori and the Wisp and that looks, you know, from the footage of the game. This looked like that, like really atmospheric. So I really want to try that out. So that is a Switch game that I want to have on my list. But again, that's sitting at quite a good, say, good price tag, quite a high price tag. I think that might be, I should have wrote the price down. I think that might be like a £30 game or something like that, or £40. The other one is Blasphemous 2. Looks absolutely awesome. I didn't play Blasphemous 1. I've seen lots of people play the game, talk about it. Big up my friend, Rampage Talk. He's actually been nominated for YouTube in a month, so I'll give him a shout out and I'll tag him in the description. If you know about that competition, head over to the Real Bit Wars and then you'll see on the video where you can vote for him. Or check out the Rampage Talk and he'll put you in a direction because he's doing a lot of promo videos for that competition. But yeah, shout out to him. But I saw him play it on one of his videos and he'd done a cool edit of it. It looks really, really good. So I really want to play Blasphemous 2. It looks like a fantastic game. I think it's got a bit of like roguelike elements to it. It's retro-like inspired from the way of the graphics. You can see I've got some footage up there for you guys anyway. You've seen a clip. Just looks like a really, really good game. Like a bit of I don't know if it is a Metroidvania type game, but it's got those elements to it, you know, like with the progression and stuff like that, with skills and perks and skill tree, all that stuff. Looks really good. So I really want to check that one out. The last one, number 8, is only 8. I took one off. It's a super rare game. I'm going to say it, but I'm not going for it. I'll give it more time, which is Tabs, which is Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, is what it's called. But I've left that off the list. So that's not going to take the 8th spot. The 8th spot is called Lap, I think, Horse Race Challenge. I'll put the screenshots of all the games up there and then footage from the odd one that I can put on there. Obviously, because I'm not playing these, so they're not my footage. Yeah, that game, I've mentioned before, I love these horse racing games. I don't know why. I'm not into horse racing at all. I love G1 jockeying. I love like the horse management games. I don't know why. It must be that memories from the Wii. And there's some games down the arcade in Southend where I lived. You could put, it was awesome. It was like you put £2 on, you could train your horse. You can do as much or as little as you want. And you had like a card that you kept. And it was a bit like a Tamagotchi or something. You breed like a certain horse. It might be a good one, might not be a good one. And if you get a good one, you just pumping money in it every weekend. You could train the horse, you do races, and like other people could sit in there like little kiosks. It's an amazing game. If anyone remembers this or knows what it's called, please hit me in the comments. At the end of the month, whoever was at the top got real money. So I knew someone who lived down Kersal Estate in Southend, and like a mate of a mate, and he was like right up there, and he pumped like, I don't know, a good 20 quid or whatever each weekend, like keeping on top. And yeah, he won a good 100 quid or something at the end of the month. Yeah, I remember that. It was like a collation of the pot of like, you know, how many people played it. But anywho, I really want to get this game. I can't really tell you much about it. It looks really odd. That's why I want to check it out. It looks like a management horse game. But what's funny about it is I'm pretty sure it's like 30 quid. But but there must be something about it that I don't know. So let me know in the comments if you are aware. It keeps going out of stock at CEX. I forgot about that. Then I saw it was in stock, come up like an alert or something. Or I clicked on it, and I should have just bought it there and then. I'm trying to be good with my money at the moment and trade some stuff in first of all. I should have bought it there and then because I went back to look at it and I was like, oh no, I should get that. That's a good price. And it's out of stock again. So there's a car game like that, kind of what it's called on the Switch, with like guns, like shooting sort of top down, a bit retro inspired again, where it's a bit like a runner where you start back from the beginning, that sort of genre. Do you know what I mean? Like no continuous progression, and that keeps going out of stock. So anyway, I'm waffling. Let's get on to what games I've got in here. So let's open this one. One of them is not a Switch. So I'm hoping there's 2 Switch games in here. It's annoying they charge you with postage every single one, but don't refund you. Okay, you've heard me talk about this on a previous video. I've been playing this game literally a minute ago before I come up and flick the camera on. Dead by Daylight. I'm glad they sent me the right one. So I love this game. Played it loads on the Switch, and I play it on the Xbox Series, whatever the hell it's called, Xbox Series X on the Game Pass. But I never played it on the PS4. Now physical. Why would you need the game? There's different editions, but you can get it. I don't know why you would. Anyway, there's lots of different license killers. I won't go on because I talk about this all the time, so I blew my face. It's the best game ever if you're into horror films. It's got every franchise on it, but for some reason they couldn't renew the license with Stranger Things. I think Silent Hill was on there, then off there, then back on. But yeah, with Stranger Things, so I'm trying to pull the sticker off while I'm talking to you, they took it away. However, they did a physical copy of the PS4, so like it must be linked with Netflix. It says includes Dead by Daylight, Netflix, Stranger Things chapter. So they had some sort of agreement, and obviously you can't pull the plug from that. So if you buy the game, it's not like a download, it's on there. So if you buy that game, you have got the Stranger Things characters forever, but you can't rebuy them. So like I had it digitally, and I think I brought them, but then it was taken away or something like that. I don't get how it works. Guys, let me know. Anyway, and I just thought this might be one for the future. If the game carries on, it'd be like the characters that everyone forgot. And Stranger Things is carrying on by the sounds of it. I think they are working another season, aren't they? And the game is, believe it or not, even though it's like 20 quid on the Switch or, 30 quid on the other console, it's like a cheap game, 10 to 30 quid. But the Stranger Things one that's only released on the PS4, it's like gone up to like 60 quid. And that's a lot of money, but it's like my favourite game. I thought, do you know what, if that does go over 100 quid, I'll be gutted that I didn't get it, because I've played so many hours on this, like hundreds of hours. I played about 300 hours just on the Switch, and I've must play over 100 hours on the Xbox in probably just a week. But yeah, and eventually I'll probably get some shelves on this wall, and get some games sort of face on, like almost retro ghetto style, just to display some of the artwork or your favourite games. This will be one of them. So yeah, Dead by Daylight. I'm assuming everything's there. I don't know. I don't collect PS4, so I'm assuming there's no manuals. This looks immaculate. So I bought that with credit, by the way. I had a load of boot sale stuff from the past summer, so I went and traded that in. And also, with that trade-in credit, I have brought these 2 Switch games from that list. So you can probably guess which ones I'd use a credit on, where I probably won't find it cheaper than what's on there. Dun dun dun. They're both in there, which is annoying. Where's my postage money? And that is Kirby, Return to Dreamland. That is in there. So you see what I mean about these manuals? If that was the right game, that would just slot in there. Lovely, like original. It's annoying, isn't it? They make these little manual holders. I don't put a manual in there. They always have these like artwork, flippable, reversible covers on there. But yeah, so not much to say. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. So yeah, really awesome. I'll probably try that tonight. Get a little game of that in. And the other one was at Akai. So I've got these both from CEX. I had some credit left. So I just thought, do you know what? I think it's got to a point now where this was a similar price from Amazon that it was from CEX, and I had credit anyway. And I was buying this. So yes, I'll tick those off the list. So at least we've got 2, but I've paid like full whack, if you like, but I've used credit vouchers, so it kind of doesn't count. But I've got no more CX credit left, other than like a 5 or something like that. So all the other games, so we're looking for The Witcher, Shelter Generations, Candleman, Blasphemous 2, and Fire Lap Horse Race Challenge. I'm not going to be able to buy all of them, like I say, so there's 6 games left there out of the 8. There's 2 already done. I'm hoping to get at least 3 of those before the month is up. If you guys see any deals of those games, if you played them or anything like that, please let me know in the comments. Love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, if you do see any deals at Amazon or anything like that, or someone at eBay selling them, or if you're selling a copy of it, hit me up and we can do a trade. But I'm Scott from Marathon Gaming. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you guys very soon. Before I go, actually, anyone who is, because this video will come out before then, there's a retro games market this Saturday over in Brighton, Brighton horse racing track. There's a lot of horses mentioned in this video. I'll put a link where you can find that information into the description. I'm going to be going there. It's a retro game market. The guys who run it was up in Norwich, and I met them there. And I spoke to them. They said they'd do another one. I said, yeah, I'll pop down. So yeah, I saw them up in Norwich, and yeah, it's not the biggest retro gaming market, but if you're in the area, it's definitely awesome. Like, I travelled 2 hours up to Norwich where I live, and it was still worth it for me, that 2-hour journey, because I brought all this lovely artwork. You can see the wall behind me. I brought a few big hitters. I put a thumbnail up from that video so you can see exactly what was there, but I imagine this would be all of that and much more. So yeah, it was a really, really good event. Don't get me wrong, you could walk around it in like an hour or something, do you know what I mean, if you wanted to be straight through. But yeah, there's some real good sellers there with some real big heavy hitters. So if you, again, it's a 2-hour journey for me. I'm pretty much between Norwich and Brighton. It's a 2-hour journey, about an hour and a half on a good day for me to Brighton, and I'm going to go down there and see what goodies I can find. So if you are in Brighton or those surrounding areas, or within a 2-hour drive like myself, hopefully see you down there. Cheers, guys.